was wondering if Ken Naggy is available.
For, what's your name?
Jeremy Bass. I only need 5 minutes.
Okay, he's super busy, but he said he's got like 5 minutes.
That'd be appreciated. Thank you. Well, sir, good. It's good to meet you in person.
I don't think I met you in the past.
I have not, no.
Let me just finish an
Yeah,
email.
not a
You can
problem.
grab a seat. I'm just in the middle of a whole bunch of calls right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, it's not a problem. I understand.
Just a second. Okay. So, did you have questions or just want to talk about what's going on?
The same kind of thing that I keep running into is disbelief that I can't find a lawyer. It's not because I don't have money. I have money. I literally was going to pay $40,000 for the one in Pocatello because I have there's $300,000 to $400,000 worth of loss that I will receive from this whole thing happening. It's not like I didn't pay my mortgage. I paid my mortgage until they put me on forbearance. And then they strong-armed me on that.
I didn't follow that. 300 to 400,000 loss.
If I lose my house, yeah,
Right.
that's a $300,000 to $400,000 loss for me.
So Dwayne must have talked to you after I talked to him about, I just didn't understand why you can't find a lawyer. Is that why?
Yeah. Which is the same thing that I receive from most everyone is, well, that's hard to believe or things like that. And it's like, it's not because I just literally don't have money. And in fact, this office here, I contacted here asking for help, and they said that there's conflict of interest. Ask why? No idea. They won't. They can't tell me.
Is that after Dwayne came to us?
Oh no, it was well before. Like I contacted 2 years ago, and then earlier this year before when the court case happened.
We wouldn't have had a conflict of interest, but your case is not the type of case that we're allowed to take on.
Yeah.
Because yours is foreclosure defense.
And they didn't even get that far. They literally got my social security number, and then they tell me it's conflict of interest, and they won't tell me why. I contacted twice about this to hear because I couldn't find a lawyer anywhere, and I've contacted everyone in town. I even had Jane McFarland. She gave me a list of people to contact. I've contacted through the bar association.
Well, wait. Let me first talk about this office. I cannot believe that they would tell you that this office has a conflict of interest, because the only way we'd have a conflict of interest is if we were representing Dwayne already, which you say we weren't, or if we represented the foreclosing party, which we would never have done.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sound right.
But I
think you might have misunderstood what they said.
Nope, I have it on recording. I recorded the conversation when I called because I have record. I keep record of all the ones I've been doing.
Do you know who it is?
It was the receptionist.
Do you know what her name is?
I'd have to go back to the recording to find out, but I did get her name.
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, I can.
That's a real problem if you were told that.
Yeah, I can get that. That's and it is a second. I called a couple times because I pretty much begged the last time, just like pretty much begged. Begged, like, please, I need, because I've been very desperate. By no means do I want to be doing this by myself. And
do you have the can you email me the recording?
Yeah, I can.
Would you please do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that
Because I
definitely.
wanna find, because they're not supposed to be saying that, unless it's true.
Yeah.
But I can't see how, because if we had a conflict of interest for you, we would have had a conflict of interest for Dwayne.
That's what I would have thought
And
too.
that doesn't make any sense. So my guess is when you listen to it again, they probably said, we don't do those types of cases.
No, 100%. It was conflict of
Okay,
interest because
I believe you.
I asked her repetitively. Well, not repetitively, but sorry.
No, that's okay. I've been playing telephone tag with my daughter. Let me
Not a
just-
problem. Family's family.
Okay, so. Hello, I'm just meeting with somebody. Did you have a question? What, you're just on the way? You just want to let me know? And you were able to pick those windows up? Great, thanks for doing that. Did you put the wood slats between them? Great, okay. Good, okay. And did you pick up your pile of stuff from inside? Okay. For what? Oh, okay. All right, do you want to call me when you get there? Great, okay. Or after you leave, let me know if the windows made it okay. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's no problem.
I've just been trying to reach her by phone. I was on the phone when she called, but these phones keep ringing all the time.
I don't blame you.
So that sounds totally bizarre, so I want to hear that recording.
Oh yeah, and the only reason why I'm so confident in it is just because I begged her. I was like, can you give me any reason? Tell me any reason how it is, because I don't see how you could have conflict of interest.
No.
She said, nope, can't tell you. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I'm so sure about it, is because I begged about it.
Do you know if the person said their name on the recording?
I'm pretty sure they did, because
Good, okay,
when I
all right.
called, I started from there, so they answered and said their name. So
You can guarantee, I can guarantee to you that if that was nonsense, I'll make an issue of it.
okay.
Because we can't be doing that. Now, with that said, we would not have been able to help you anyway.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to be providing incorrect information that we had a conflict of interest, because that just leads to confusion.
Yeah, it definitely does, and that's been half the problem here, is that I get two answers. One, don't practice in that area. So, because I've even tried family law and other lawyers and other things. It can't practice in that in real estate or contract law. All right, fine. And then I get conflict of interest. And even the one in Pocatello, that was the longest I got to talk to anyone, which was 2 hours. And
So you were on the housing hotline?
no, you mean for here?
Well, why would you call Pocatello?
Oh, because I was calling around for any lawyers I could find. So I've called in.
You didn't call the legal aid office?
No, I did call the one in there, but it got routed up here, is what it did.
Okay.
But no, I finally, after so long of searching, I finally found one firm that would actually do it. It's Jason Brown, and we got 2 hours into it, and then he goes and looks at the past case because he pulled it up, and he goes, I hate to say this, I've got conflict of interest. And I'm like, why? Well, he said that he had the judge over the night before at a party that he had.
Judge Monson.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
said,
I remember hearing you talk about that on
yeah.
the hearing. So,
And then so he said, sorry, that's conflict of interest. He said they would think about like curating my stuff and just going through it, and so that way I had some advisement from anyone.
this
But he
sounds
decided
totally bizarre.
it is. Trust me, I'm not wanting to be like
My
this.
guess is what's happening is that lawyers are looking at this, they don't see that you have a legitimate defense to the.
That's the only problem though, is that I don't get to tell them anything about it before I get told this. So like even here, I didn't get to tell anything.
See, if you had come to me, if I was still in private practice, I would have looked at it and said, if you didn't pay your mortgage, they can foreclose and they can sell. Now, I understand you believe there's a conspiracy to defraud you. I get all that, but that's going to be extremely difficult to prove. So my guess is that attorneys are looking at it and say, I don't want to waste your money because I can't help you. But they should be telling you that.
Yeah, and I don't even get to tell them any of the details. I don't even get that far. And it's never been a thing of money, because I mean, like I said, I was going to pay $40,000 for the one down in Pocatello, because he said he normally do 20,000, but because he would have to come up here, and that's how much of a problem it's been. I mean, it's never been about money. It's never been because I wanted to do this on my own.
Well, if you had come to an attorney back when the foreclosure was getting started, you had right of redemption. And
Yeah, I
things
tried.
like that.
Yeah, I tried getting a lawyer even before then. I tried to get it before then because of the frauds that they were doing, and before they even did the foreclosure or any of that, and it just got worse and worse as it went.
Most private practice lawyers are in it just for the money.
Yeah.
They want easy cases that they can make a lot of money at. They don't want to take anything complicated like your case.
I've noticed that.
So did you want to talk about something, or did you just want to?
Well, I wanted to if you have any idea on any lawyers that would be available, if you knew that that wouldn't have conflict of interest.
I don't have any idea who or wouldn't. I have a hard time believing any attorney around here has a conflict of interest, because conflict of interest means they represented these people in the past.
That's what I would think.
And I don't think the purchasers are local people. I
Yeah.
think they're from out of the area. They're just investors. And so them and the mortgage company and all those entities, there's no attorneys around here that's ever represented any of them.
So the lady that the Moreland lady, she's one of the Gail Moreland. She's the developer that called me ahead, said that she was talking with the bank already, but she was trying to get me to sell to her ahead of it. What she told me was the reason why I wasn't finding a lawyer was because the lawyers that do the contracts for the mortgages, they play round robin with them, and so they're not going to do. They're going to have conflict of interest because they do the contracts for the mortgages. Is at least what she told me.
Only the real estate attorneys do that. But that's just a few of the local attorneys. The problem is that the attorneys who don't specialize in real estate are going to be scared off your case.
Yep.
Because they don't really know what they're doing.
And
I would never take your case because it's too complicated.
And that's where that practice, don't practice in that area. That's one of the two responses I either get. Don't practice in that area.
So they do tell you that too.
Some of them have told me that they don't practice in that area. And then the other one is conflict of interest. So it's either one of the two answers I've been getting, which is super hard. I mean, it's like, okay, so if you don't practice in that area and I can only get ones that are in, that's kind of a problem if people can't get that kind of help. So
I think you're looking at Spokane,
I tried,
somewhere like that.
Tried Spokane. I mean, literally at this point, I'm somewhere around 123, 25 different firms that I've called. And this in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, and from top to bottoms.
My guess is that lawyers are looking at it and saying, they're not going to foreclose unless it's all done right, because it's all so heavily regulated.
Yeah.
That they're going to think you don't have a defense.
And they don't even listen, so that's...
Yeah, they don't want to get involved in a foreclosure if they feel you don't have a defense.
Yeah.
So my guess is that's what's going on. And it's going to be very hard to convince an attorney that there's some conspiracy going on, because everybody claims conspiracy these days.
Yeah.
And so they think you're a whack job if you allege there's a conspiracy. I'm not saying you're a whack job, because there might be a conspiracy here, but I don't think any attorney is going to want to touch it if they hear that there might be, because it's so hard to prove.
Yeah. The lucky thing for me is like the Bank of America and Carrington, they literally sent me paperwork that admitted to it, because one said, so Bank of America or Carrington Mortgage was trying to get me to sign that backdated one in 2022.
Yeah, well, and the problem now in your case is that all of this stuff would have had to have been proven at the time of the foreclosure.
Yeah.
Because now the foreclosure is done, property's been sold, and now they're trying to kick you off the property. And I don't think you can stop the ejectment.
Why can they, I mean, because they admitted to contacting them, which is that's not legal. They're not supposed to be able to contact the trustee for things. Why can they admit to that and not get in trouble?
I don't do those types of cases.
and that's what's been confusing as heck to me is like, if they admitted to a felony, it's by all rights a felony. I've triple checked this, and
You're probably right, but I don't practice in that area of law. I have to tell you what
Yeah.
everybody else says. We just do family law here and housing evictions.
yeah,
So, and yours is a foreclosure, it's not an eviction.
yeah,
So, I wish you luck, but you're way late in the game is what I'm saying. Because proving the conspiracy, proving wrongdoing, all should have happened at the foreclosure stage and before the property sale. And now all that's been done, and now as far in the court size, they're the owners.
So even though they were part of the conspiracy, so basically the sale, the trustees that were part of the fraud because they were coordinating it, and the buyer because they were talking with them, that legitimizes it just because they put it through?
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they should be let off the hook. I'm saying that the time for raising those issues was months and months ago at Monson's proceeding.
Yeah.
When he was signing off on the foreclosure. That's where those issues should have
He
come
didn't,
up.
oh no, this was a non-judicial. The only reason why we got before Munson was because I served them trying to get a TRO or a stay, because I didn't know which one to do, was stay or TRO or anything like that. And so I botched it, and that's the reason why I got dismissed, was not because of anything more than just the fact that I didn't serve, because the trustees, they said that they were in Nevada, so I sent it to the Nevada office. Turns out he was actually in Coeur d'Alene, but he actually had stuff signed in, and so I failed there.
All I'm saying is that was the time to raise these issues. Now, the foreclosure is done, the sale's been done, and you're at summary judgment stage in the ejectment case. The only issue before the court is whether you should be ejected off the property. That's the only issue. You can't bring up conspiracies.
So the people that are committing the crime, having them eject me is not part of the, I mean, because they're the ones committing the crime, so why isn't that part of the case, I guess, is why I don't understand.
Because on summary judgment, the plaintiff has to show that there's no dispute as to any material fact in the ejectment case.
Uh-huh.
So the case is limited to whether you have a right to stay on the property or not. And so I guess Judge Evans might find, if you properly put into evidence that there's some sort of conspiracy, I guess she could find that they're not properly the owners, but they've already done the foreclosure. And so technically, the foreclosure, the court has to respect the foreclosure.
Yeah, which that part I understand, and it, you know, with, I'm sorry.
Oh, so it's not your fault. Hello? I'm meeting with somebody. That's okay. Is it quick? Go ahead. That's fine. Can you come in tomorrow? Oh, next week? Okay. Yep, that sounds good. We've done that before. Sounds good. Bye. So I can't give you any legal advice because I'm representing Dwayne.
Yeah.
And, but you always have to look at what are the issues before the court. And the only issue before the court right now is whether you and Dwayne should be kicked off the property.
Am I supposed to do a counterclaim?
You could have countersued.
See, there's nowhere online that tells you any of this stuff, so it's...
That's what sucks about this.
Yeah.
Because you're just expected to know it.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it, then you gotta get an attorney, and the attorneys are all turning you down. I don't know what to tell you because this system doesn't work for most people.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating. And that's why I work at Legal Aid, because at least I can help people on a limited types of cases.
Yeah.
But you don't fall into those types of cases, so I can't help you.
I understand that.
And that, I don't like that, but that's the reality. Because we don't have real estate experts on staff.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
We're limited by our funding sources. Our funding sources limit us to doing domestic violence family law cases to emergency evictions
yeah,
and stuff like that.
which is good work. I mean, you guys are doing for the good, so, you know, I respect that, and,
We're trying.
yeah.
So my job is to keep Dwayne in that place as long
Yeah.
as I can.
And I've done everything I could to make sure that he had the best, you know, best chance at not being screwed over, because we had people stalking us and everything. I mean, they would drive by, they would stop, take pictures, they would try to come on the property, everything like that, just bunker stuff.
These property people are just bloodthirsty.
Yeah, because at one point I just want to be like, if you guys were on the up and up, then why would you continue with this, and why would you have continued doing this? Why wouldn't you just say, you know what, I don't want this, it's going to cost me more money, I'm going to let go? But they don't.
They want as much money as they can get.
Yeah.
And right now they want the property.
Yeah.
So they can flip it and make as much money as possible.
Which they don't.
What'd they buy it for?
They bought it for down to the penny what the bank said, which was $163.45 and 85 cents.
So you lost all the equity.
Yeah. Well, and the house is worth $325, and that's part of the problem is, and what they don't know is that halfway in the middle, when this all started, I was in the middle of a renovation. The whole top half is not livable, so I've been stuck like this for a bit now, where I can't do anything, you know, because I can't put money into it, and
No.
you know,
Because the house doesn't belong to you anymore.
yeah, well, even before the sale, I couldn't do anything. Putting money into it would have been dumb. I was trying to get a lawyer, trying to figure out what to do, and
You're just flushing your money.
exactly. And so the top part's gutted, so they can't flip it. You know,
Well, I have no idea whether they defrauded you.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were pretty shady.
yeah,
but
they were.
I don't practice in that area of law, and so if you can't find an attorney to help you, you're screwed.
That was. I think it was that semi.
Did it hit someone?
I don't know. That was definitely, yep, you must have hit something. Huh. Or his trailer came undone.
Oh my God.
Oh,
This guy out there doing something to it.
yeah.
Yeah, we hear all kinds of crashes.
I bet.
All the time. So I wish I could help you, but I'm the wrong person.
Well, I wanted to come down just to see if maybe you might have an idea on anyone else that would be able to, and at least, the very least, you know, it's not like I've never wanted a lawyer or like I wanted to do this on my own. I had the money too, and
Yeah.
have been trying, and it's frustrating because at some point it's like, how much money do I have to have in order for me to be important enough, and how much money, you know, when do
You're
I?
misunderstanding it. Lawyers are lazy. They do not want to take on complicated cases. And only if it's an area that they practice in and they're able to take the case and they smell a lot of money, then they'll take it. And your case, they probably think they're not going to be able to make enough money off you to justify taking the case. So I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could tell you different, but that's the system we have, and it stinks.
Yeah. Well, I won't take up much more of your time. I just wanted to. Yeah, I just wanted to. At least it's worth a try to see if there was someone you might be able to refer. But
well, let's hope that Judge Evans finds something in what you filed.
Yeah, I hope. It sucks because I did the Shepherd report on mine and his, and he had more errors in his than mine. He had 8 citations that were erroneous, out to my 4, and yet he cast stones at me like, you know, it's like
That's his job.
Yeah, exactly.
You
and
can't take it personally.
Yeah.
Lawyers, you put the money in the slot and they'll say whatever you want them to say.
Yeah,
So that's why, you know, when he went off on me, I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way the game is played.
Yeah, and yeah, I definitely don't take it personal. I know he's doing his job, but at a certain point, it's frustrating because it's like, you know, I mean, I'm doing the best I can, and the judge's, you know, the impression I get is the judge looks at me like, you're choosing to be pro se, you're wanting to this, you should rise to the level, and it's like, that's not the case, and
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Well, I'll get out of your hair. I appreciate your time.
Nice to meet you in person
It's good to meet
finally,
you.
and I appreciate all you've done for Dwayne.
Yeah, hopefully it's set up well enough that he at least gets a somewhat of a cushy landing.
I'm just trying to keep him in as long as I can.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
You have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
What was that crash out there?
All right. It is October 22, and it is, let's see what time is it. It is 2:19 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Jeremy Bass. That was Ken Naggy, Dwayne's lawyer. My birthday is 3/17/82.